Handicapper Steve here, handicapping the racing from Aqueduct Racetrack here on Saturday. It is the 9th of April 2022. It's Wood Memorial Day, and we're going to look at all the stakes races, including the Wood Memorial. But before I get on to that, remember to please follow me on Twitter at Horse Racing Kit 5 for more selections for race courses around the world. And remember to go check out my Grand National preview from Aintree and also my Keeneland Bluegrass preview today. It's an excellent day of racing, so hopefully you join me for all that. But let's look at the stakes action from Aqueduct races 5 through 11. So we have quite a few races to get to. Starting off with the fifth race, it is the Distaff Handicap. It's a grade 3 event going for a purse of $150,000. Race for fillies and mares, 4-year-olds and upwards. We have a field of 6 horses heading to the main track. The distance of ground here of 1,400 meters, or the distance of ground of 7 furlongs on the Aqueduct main track. 1,400 meters, 7 furlongs in the Distaff Handicap. I'm going to go with the number 4 horse here. Search Results as a top selection. We'll go 4, 3, 5, 6 in the superfecta. 4, 3, 5, 6 super. Top selection of 4 horse Search Results. 4-year filly by Flatter. Chad Brown trains. Jose Ortiz gets the mount. The horse's most recent outing came the 7th of August at Saratoga. 7 furlongs in the grade 1 test. And the horse finished third by 5 3/4 lengths there. And the horse was just a little bit wide, lackadaisical early on. A little bit of a turn of foot, but wasn't anything spectacular. She got beat by a little bit of a better horse. Stepping down class, seasonal reappearance here, back to a 1 turn, 7 furlongs. Again, I think she could really run a good race. 2 back ran the Acorn at Belmont, 1 mile on the 5th of June, winning by a half a length. From a stalking position, she got the lead in the lane, and she took off clear, earning a 95 by her. That was a very impressive victory for her there. And then prior to that, in the Kentucky Oaks, right back to her Churchill, mile 8th on the 30th of April. The horse finished second by a neck from wide poster, got out well, stalked all the way around the race course, just couldn't get them out. That was just a little bit more gamer, but she ran her heart out there. And then last year in the Gazelle here at Aqueduct, she won by 2 3/4 lengths, a little bit wide, but from a stalking position, she took off clear. She's training well at South Florida, Payson Park. I think at even money, she's a likely winner. The second likeliest winner, I think, is the 3 horse Agile. Todd Pletcher trains 1. Joel Rosario gets mount. Hasn't been seen since the Bell Dame going a mile 8th at Belmont, where the horse finished 5th by 8.5 lengths. Was very wide and just showed up empty that day. Mile 8, just a little bit too long. Back to 7 to Aqueduct against lesser quality horses. If the horse could run a race like the Mother Goose, I think this horse could win here today. 6-1. We'll use this one to end off the early pick 5. But to recap my selection for the 5th from Aqueduct, it is the grade 3 Distaff Handicap. We're going to take the 4 horse Search Results. Give kudos to the 3 horse Agile. 4, 3, 5, 6 super. 4-3 in the multi-race. To the 7th race from Aqueduct, it's the first turf stakes race of the season. It is, or the year, it is the Danger's Hour Stakes. It's going for a purse $100,000. Race for 4-year-olds and upwards. We have a field of 9 horses entered, but keep in mind the 9 horses MTO, so 8 will head to the inner turf course. The distance of ground here of 1,600 meters, or the 1-mile trip on the Aqueduct inner turf course. 1,600 meters, a mile here in the Danger's Hour. And hopefully this race doesn't get rained off the turf. Thursday and Friday we were rained off the turf here in New York. Friday right now it's a beautiful day out, so the turf is drying, but we are going to get some rain early Saturday morning. But hopefully they could keep at least this race on the turf, because I think it's a good one. My top selection, I'm going to go with the 3 horse value proposition. I'll go 3-5-4-1 in the superfecta. 3-5-4-1 super. Top selection of 3 horse value proposition. 6-year-old Ridgeling by Dancel. Chad Brown trains. Manny Franco gets the mount. The horse's most recent outing came the 8th of January at Gulfstream, about a mile on the turf course in the tropical turf. The horse finished second by 2 lengths and just kind of stalked all the way around the race course and just couldn't get the turn of foot. Clear Vision just outgamed this horse. Coming back to New York to Aqueduct against a little lesser quality horses, a little given the ground, I think this horse you really adore. I think he could really run a good race. 2 back in the Aqueduct Turf Sprint Championship here at Aqueduct, 6 furlongs, 27th of November. He finished 5th by 3 lengths there, and as the favorite, he just never showed up. Do think he's not a 6 furlong horse. He's a 1-miler. The sprinting wasn't to his liking. Before then, the Oyster Bay at Belmont going 7 furlongs in the wider. He won by 2 3/4 lengths, and from a stalking position, he won quite nicely. But that race was really run like a elongated route. That wasn't really a sprint race there. And then prior to that in the Red Bank at Monmouth, a mile on the 4th of September, winning by 2 3/4 lengths. He only had 3 other rivals. He took off clear off the second off the bench there. And then before then, the Lure at Saratoga going mile 16th, he finished 3rd by 3 lengths. He had no front shoes that day, so he was running with no purse money, for only purse money that day. He just kind of stalked, never could really get a good turn of foot. I like him coming back here with a little give in the ground at 2-1. I think he's a likely winner, along with the 5 horse here, Rinaldi. it wouldn't surprise me if he steals it on the front end. But out of all the turf courses in New York, this is not his favorite. He ran here in the Artie Schiller in the fall, where he ran an okay fourth place finish, where he got caught late. Ran this race last year where he got caught nearly at the wire by nailed at the wire by Delaware. But he has a lot of speed. He can handle given the ground. We'll give him a shot of 5-2. But I do prefer value proposition before him. But there's no value with value proposition. But to recount my selection for the 7 from Aqueduct, it's the Danger Hours. Let's take the 3-horse value proposition. Give kudos to the 5-horse Rinaldi. 3-5-4-1 Super. 3-5 in the multi-race to the featured 8th race. The 8th race from Aqueduct, it is the Wood Memorial. It's a grade 2 event going for a purse $750,000. Race for 3-year-olds here. 8 of them are taking a lap around the Aqueduct main track, which is 1,800 meters in circumference, or the distance of ground of a mile and 1/8 on the Aqueduct main track. 1,800 meters, a mile and 1/8 here in the Wood Memorial. And my top selection, I'm going to go with the rail horse, the 1-horse Mo Donegal. We'll go 1-3-5-6 in the superfecta. 1-3-5-6 super. Top selection, 1-horse Mo Donegal. 3-year called by Uncle Mo. Todd Pletcher trains one. Joel Rosario gets the mount. The horse's most recent outing came the 5th of February at Gulfstream. Mile 16th in the Holy Bowl. And the horse finished third by 4.5 lengths that day and basically lost all chances at the beginning as my iPad craps out. So we'll have to go to the back up to the print edition of the racing form. Just give me 1 second. I'm telling you, this iPad, it's so old you have to put coal in it to work. But Mo Donegal most recently in the Holy Bullock Aqueduct at Gulfstream, going mile 16. Finished third by 4.5 lengths, and lost all chances at the beginning. Because he didn't break that well. Lacked stays early on, a little bit of turn of foot late, but the winner, White Braro, just really put on a show. One next start out last week in the Florida Derby, but this horse regrouping off the bench, training a lot better at Palm Beach, coming to Aqueduct, which is a lot better, which is his favorite track because he won here back a few months ago. I'm gonna give him another shot here today. 2 back in the Remsen at Aqueduct, mile 8th in the 4th of December. He won by a nose, and I timed the ride perfectly on this horse. He sat back early after not the best beginnings, a little bit wide, but he got there in nick of time. I thought that was a very good victory. First time stakes quality horses, first time around 2 turns. Prior to that at Belmont on mile 16th in late October in a main special weight, winning by 1.25 lengths that day. Again, this horse didn't break that well, which is a key with him. But he really recovered well after that. A little bit wide, but he got the job done. He's going to have to break if he wants to go forward in his career. But I think here today he could really run a good race. He's a likely winner, along with the number 3 horse Early Voting. 3-year called by Gunrunner. Chad Brown trains. Jose Ortiz gets the mount. Most recently, he ran the 5th of February at Aqueduct on the mud, but Herod going a mile length in the Withers. He won by 4.5 lengths and basically almost had everything his own way on the front end. It was a very weird cuppy kind of track that day, but he just kept going on the dead rail. An all-around good, clear victory. Coming here today, set off a little bit refreshing. I think he really should get a good trip from this post run. I think he can go a long way. And his debut, he ran the 18th of December here at Aqueduct, 1 mile in a main special weight 80,000, went by 1.5 lengths. He was a little bit wide that day and had a little bit of trouble going around the turn, but he recovered well to get the job done. Training very well at Belmont. I think he goes a long way here today. And also watch out for the number 5 horse, Morello. He's your wise guy horse. He's either going to handle the 2 turns or he's going to hit way out of it, and they're going to cut him back for the Pat Day Mile or the Woody Stevens. He won the Gotham very, very easily from a wide trip last time out, and a hard break for him that day where he didn't get into it, but before that he won the Jimmy Wingfield and broke the main here at Aqueduct in November. But he's the wise guy horse. If he could go the 2 turns and he wins easily, he's a serious contender for the Derby. But I have question marks with him. But we'll use him as an insurance play on the multi-race. But I do prefer the other 2 before him. But to recount my selection for the 8th from Aqueduct, it is the Wood Memorial. We're going to take the 1 horse Mo Donegal, give kudos to the 3 horse Early Voting and the 5 horse Morello. 1-3-5-6 Super. 1-3-5 in the multi-race to the 9th event. The 9th race from Aqueduct, it is the Carter Handicap. It's a grade 1 event going for a purse $300,000. Race for 4-year-olds and upwards. We have a field of 8 horses going to the main track in the Carter. The distance of ground of 1,400 meters, or the distance of ground of 7 furlongs on the Aqueduct main track. 1,400 meters, 7 furlongs. And first grade 1 of the year. Earlier we had the first turf race of the year. Today we have the first grade 1 of the year in New York. And the last few Carters haven't been grade 1 quality horses, I think, especially last year. But this year I think you see a very good field in this race, and it's a good grade 1. My top selection, I'm going to go with the number 5 horse here, first captain. We'll go 5-8-1-4 in the superfecta. 5-8-1-4 super. Top selection of 5 horse, first captain. 4-year-old colt by Curlin. Sugar McGahee trains one. Jose Ortiz gets the leg up. The horse's most recent outing, first out the bench, came 27th of February at Gulfstream. 7 furlongs and option 75 claimer. And the horse won by a head. He's very lackadaisical early on, which I think cost him in the long run. But he sat back early. He slowly moved his way up. He got the job done. Probably wasn't 100% cranked, but it was still a very good run. Coming here today, I would like to see him more involved early on. I think he could go a long way with a good pace in front of him today. 2 back in the Curlin at Saratoga, mile 8th and 30th of July, and the horse finished third by 8 3/4 lengths and was stupidly wide and just not going the mile and 8th. 2 turns, just wasn't agreeing, wasn't his day to win. Throw that race out, and then prior to that in the Dwyer at Belmont, 1 mile the 5th of July, winning by 1 3/4 lengths from a starting position. This horse got a good clear victory there, and then before then, the slop at the end of May at Belmont, 1 mile in the allowance race, 89,000, winning by length again from a little bit of a wide trip. He got the job done there and broke maybe before that even easier at Belmont. Back to 7, which I think he wants. Stakes quality horses shouldn't be a problem. He faced him very tough as a 3-year-old, and I think coming here today, this is the right spot for him. Training well at Gulfstream. I'm going to give a shot at 8-1. You also have to give a shot to the 8 horse here, Speaker's Corner. He's had a great winter at Gulfstream. With the Fred Hooper 2 back, he won very easily by 1/4 lengths. Came back to win the Gulfstream Park Mile. Came back to run the Discovery 3 back here at Aqueduct, going mile 8th, where he just wasn't getting the mile 8th. Another horse, a 1-turn mile. 1 turn 7 furlongs is really up his alley. He's probably your early favorite today if he wins for the mile, because that's how good he is. 8-5, you have to use him on the ticket, and you also have to use the 1 horse reinvestment risk for Chad Brown. Manny Franco gets the leg up. Most recently, Goldstream going 6.5 on the 26th February and optional 25. The horse won by 3 lengths, and on the front end all throughout, earning a 103 buyer. That was a very good race there. First off, the long freshening. He's only had 2 races since 2020. His only race as a 3-year-old came at Belmont, going 6.5 in a lounge race, 85,000 in June, where he finished third by 9 1/4 lengths and just kind of hit the wall there. But his 2-year-old form wasn't half bad. Placed in the Hopeful behind Jackie's Warrior, placed in the Champagne behind Jackie's Warrior, and then just wasn't getting the mile 16th in the 2020 Brews Cup Juvenile Keeneland. But coming here today, back to 7, second off the bench, he should be the freshest this horse has ever been. And I think he's also sitting on a run. We'll definitely use him in the late pick 4. But to recount my selection for the 9th from Aqueduct, it's the grade 1 Carter Handicap. We're going to take the 5 horse first captain as a top selection. Give kudos to the 8 horse Speaker's Corner and the 1 horse reinvestment risk. 5-8-1-4 super. 5-8-1 in the multi race to the 10th race. The 10th race from Aqueduct, it is the Gazelle Stakes. It's a grade 3 event going for a purse of $250,000. Race for 3-year-old fillies here. We have a field of 8 horses going a lap around the Aqueduct main track, which is 1,800 meters in circumference, or the mile and 1/8 on the Aqueduct main track. 1,800 meters, a mile and 1/8 here in the Gazelle. My top selection, we're going to go with the number 3 horse, Nostalgic. We'll go 3-6-5-2 in the superfecta. 3-6-5-2 super. Top selection of 3 horse, Nostalgic. 3-year-old filly by Medaglia d'Oro. Belmont trains. Jose Ortiz gets the mount. The horse's most recent outing came 3rd of March at Gulfstream. Mile 16th and off 75 claimer, and the horse won by 6 3/4 lengths and basically had a dream trip that day. He stalked all the way around, slowly moved his way up. When he got the lead, he quickened up nicely and got the job done. An all-around good race for this horse there, with a bit of a step down in class. Coming here today to the Gazelle, it's not the world's toughest Gazelle. Last year was probably one of the best runnings I've ever seen in my lifetime, but not the world's toughest Gazelle today. I think the horse could really run a good race and has a good poster with the running style to run a good race from a front end victory. 2 back, the horse ran the turf at Gulfstream, about a mile 16th on the 5th of March in the Swedish Chant, and the horse finished 9th by 14.5 lengths there and really just never showed up. Had nothing. Throw that race out. First off the bench on turf. It wasn't a recipe for success for this horse. And then before then, the Demoiselle here at Aqueduct, mile 8th on the 4th of December. The horse finished 4th by 4 3/4 lengths. Had a little bit of a trouble trip. He sat back early, was stupidly wide around the racetrack, moved a little bit late, but Nest and Venti Valentina just had a better trip than her. Keep in mind, both those, the 1, 2, 3 out of that race, all 1 next stood out. And then before that, Belmont, a mile 16th, the main special weight 9,000 at the end of October, winning by 7 3/4 lengths. Stupidly wide, way out of it early, but really closed up well late to win going away. That was a very good race after all is said and done, where this horse is basically at the beginning of the race. But training well, pacing, a 9-2 sitting closer. I think this horse can run a good race. I think your second likeliest winner here is the 6-horse Classy Edition. Placed in the Devona Dale behind Kathleen O, most recently at Goldstream going a mile, where the horse needed the race. Before that was running here against State President, was running quite good. I like the horse with the longer trip. Watch out for this horse at 5-2. But to recount my selection for the 10th from Aqueduct, it's the Grade 3 Gazelle. Let's take the 3-horse Nostalgic. Give kudos to the 6-horse Classy Edition. 3-6-5-2 Super. 3-6 in the multi-race. The Nightcap, the 11th race from the Big A. The Nightcap from the Big A, it is the Bayshore Stakes. It's a Grade 3 event going for a purse $200,000. Race for 3-year-olds here. We have a field of 10 horses going to the main track, the distance of ground of 1,400 meters, or the distance of ground of 7 furlongs on the Aqueduct main track. 1,400 meters, 7 furlongs in the Bayshore. My top selection, I'm going to go with the number 5 horse here, who is Dean's List. And trust me, I've never been on the Dean's List and have no qualms of not being on it. But I'm going to go 5-6-9-3 in the superfecta, 5-6-9-3 super, top selection of 5 horse Dean's List. 3 called by Spicetown, Top Fletcher trains. Joel Rosario gets out on this one. The horse's most recent outing came in the Gotham here at Aqueduct, 1 mile on the 5th of March, and the horse finished second by 4.5 lengths. He didn't break that well, but was with them early on, setting the pace actually by himself. But he just didn't stay the mile trip, kind of hit the wall late, and he got beat by a classier horse, Morello. Stepped down in class, back to 7. Not the world's toughest Bayshore. I think he's in a more realistic spot to win. 2 back here on the 8th of January at Goldstream, 6 furlongs off 75, winning by a neck on the front end all throughout. This horse, again, didn't break so clearly, but he got the job done late. All-around good victory for him there. And then prior to that, in the main special weight, 53,000 at Goldstream, 6 furlongs, 11th of December. The horse won by 5.5 lengths there. A little bit wide that day, but he took off clear on the front end. A very nice, easy victory. Coming here, training well. We're going to use him along with the 6 horse, highly respected. He only started once in late February here at Aqueduct, going 3/4 in main special weight, but winning by 1/4 lengths. He had to grind out the victory, but he got the job done there. I like the pedigree with the dialed in here. I'm going to use this horse here on the ticket, along with the number 9 horse, Wit. He's cutting back in trip and with a step-down class from his last few races, but the question with him, it will be, can he run off the bench? He hasn't been seen since the Champagne, where he finished 3rd by 9.75 lengths behind Jack Christopher, where he just didn't stay the mile. Before that, he placed behind Goodnight in the Hopeful, but before that, won the Sanford and broke the main at Belmont very, very nicely, or very, very easily, in 104-3. That was probably one of the most impressive main victories you've seen as for a 2-year-old at Belmont in the spring, where he completely missed a break in June and then took off clearly, winning by 6. That was exciting. But coming here at 2-1, we'll use this horse on the ticket. But to recount my selection for the 11th from Aqueduct, the Grade 3 Bayshore, we're going to take the 5 horse Dean's List as a top selection. We'll give kudos to the 6 horse Highly Respected and the 9 horse Wit, 5-6-9-3 super, 5-6-9 to end off the card in the multi race. So good luck to all, and please follow me on Twitter at HorseRacingKid5. Good luck, everybody.